win back at Tella Stadium. The first half, I've always seen that the first half they were a bit sloppy. I felt that I think Gleason said they had to. I don't think she said that. She read the right act at them at half time, but she said she wasn't happy with the performance in the first half. Yeah, because they've got a brilliant start, Paul. They got a brilliant start from Katie McCabe. Good ball into the box. Just sort of miscontrolled it, but she got to the ball before the keeper and 1-0 up. And then give away a sloppy goal in the first half. About 3 minutes later, in the 7th minute, poor mark at the back post, and the Albanian score came in around the back, and a lot of people ball watching, and was 1-1. And then McKinney became, I think, was lucky enough deflection on the second goal, but she was definitely going to claim it. So 2-1 at half time. I think there was a marked improvement. I think in the second half. I think the third goal, I don't know if you've seen it, but it was an Albanian corner, sort of messed up. Katie McCabe nipped in, and she nearly ran the length of the pitch, and she played a beautiful ball on the plate for Kia Carusa, and 3-1. And then I think that was in the 53rd or 52nd minute. And from there on, then Ireland just completely controlled the game, and Katie McCabe ended up getting a hat trick. Carusa got another goal, 5-1 win. Very good, convincing win in the end, and particularly in the second half, the performance stepped up an awful lot. So it was a good, very good win, and 3 wins on the bounce after that. So we did to the game against Albania Halloween night, Paul, and it was nearly a horror show in terms of the weather. And
of course, we should be well used to the weather here in Ireland, but I thought it was fairly intense rain. It was one of those thunderstorms.
Oh, it was, Paul. To be fair, Paul, it didn't really start that way, because I think it was after the 20 minutes, the heavens completely opened. I mean, it was shocking the way the field was. I mean, I have to say though, for both teams, if there was a serious injury from the conditions that were being played on, I mean, they got to half time, and I think there was a good 20 minutes to play in the conditions they were playing in. I mean, the ball was getting stuck on the ground, Paul. They couldn't. There's actually a passenger play there. I don't know if you've seen it. It was down the left wing. I don't know if it was Katie McCabe to play the ball down the left wing. The ball literally got stuck in the puddle of water, and there's a couple of girls trying to kick it. And literally, when they booted, all I could see was just water flying everywhere. And
now, I suppose, in fairness to the stadium or to the grounds, when you get that shot of rain so fast, come out in such a short period of time, I don't care what ground you have. It's very hard for the water to soak away with it, So I thought we have to be fair with a real cloud burst or whatever term you want to use. Yeah. So we shouldn't be. I know that we're not doing that. We'll say just to call that. We'll say no ground I could think could let the water release when it came down so fast in such a short space of time.
Oh, it did, yeah, Paul. There was thunder, there was lightning, there was everything there. There was terrible conditions, and like as you said, around pitches here, GA pitches, soccer pitches, the amount of rain that came during those, you could say 2 hours, because particularly the game was delayed. They got to halftime. I was just thinking maybe they could have taken the players off the pitch maybe around the 25th, 30 minutes, because the pitch was hardly playable. Particularly on the right hand side, it wasn't too bad, but certainly on the left wing, around the middle of the pitch, there was puddles of water everywhere, and you couldn't play any football in it. The balls get stuck in the ground. It was just place was saturated. It was the jerseys, of course, everything was heavy and everything. There was hardly any movement, and you feel like there's no real proper football. And I think George Hamilton in the commentary saying that this is borderline ridiculous now at the stage just before half time. They got to half time, and the only issue I would have is maybe they could have taken the players off during the first half and sort of see what they could do. They eventually got to half time, and then they said, right, we're going to have to postpone the game. No, sorry, suspend the game. And for a lot of the time, even if during the half-time break, it was still raining. But to be fair, when it was 90 minutes of delay, they managed to get the pitch cleared. I think it did eventually stop raining, and they were able to play the game out. And having said that, I think it was a good test of character. Bad conditions.
Exactly. That's what I want to get to now, Noel. I just couldn't question you there, Noel. The game at home was 5-1, and as the saying goes, with this game away from home, I thought was a brilliant. The whole scenario away from home, the weather conditions, everything going against you. As the man said, they were put under pressure from the atmosphere, from the rain, from everything. So I thought it was actually the way it turned out when Norman got hurt, and that was the first thing. But when Norman got hurt, I thought it was a brilliant for character building and for building teams better than bonding.
Oh, definitely, Paul. And these players are all playing for each other, definitely. You just wouldn't win a game like that if everyone wasn't pulling the same way, to be fair.
Yeah.
It would be shown on the pitch if players were sort of, if those, the way they call it, clicks in the camps, where some people don't get on with others and some don't get on with other people. But everybody seemed to row in behind each other. And Denise O'Sullivan, she had a few chances that probably could and should have scored before she did. But well taken goal, good move. Probably the best play football that we had in the game. And nicely taken away. 1-0, 88 minutes. So Albania didn't really have time to come back into it. I think it was a couple, 4 or 5 minutes ahead of time. But they sealed out the game I would say pretty comfortably, but within arm's length of Albania. I think Ireland were the better team.
Yeah.
I think we've been by far. We see there on the graphic. We've got 12 points. Nearest to us is Hungary with 5. So I think we've done very well. I think before the group was made, what's been played, I think we were by far the best team in the group, and we've shown that. I think that's what we do. That's what the women have to do. Back it up for what they've been saying. They would say we want to win this group, we want to get promotion to League A. Want to play the big teams now in League A, and the next Nations League, put out good seeding now for the European qualifiers.
Yeah. And the same. Sorry, no, for cutting across you. And the same night, Hungary drew with Northern Ireland above in Belfast, and actually Northern Ireland got a goal late on to draw, I think, with this. So that meant now with 2 rounds to go, Republic of Ireland have topped the table. They can't be caught with that. So looking Noel, what do you think they should do in these last 2 games? I believe they're the end of early December, I think, or end of November, early December.
Yeah.
But no matter what happens, they're at home to Hungary, and they're up the road in Windsor Park in Northern Ireland. So it's an away game, but it's on the one island, of course. But should they try and make a few changes, maybe bring in a few players? So, for example, I would, with 2 games to go, I would bring in the 2 sub goalies and give them 2 full games each. Courtney Brosnan is number 1. She's playing with Everton in the English Women's Super League. She's top keeper, top number 1, absolutely. But I think you have to have a bit of backup, and it's an ideal opportunity. It's just my opinion. I love your thoughts on it. Just for example, the 2 sub goalkeepers giving a full game each. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I can see your point, Paul. And people say, we can't be throwing out caps. But to be fair, how are these goalkeepers going to step in if, say, Courtney Brosnan got injured?
Yeah.
These players need games. And I think people like Grace Maloney, she was she was number 1 for Spalding Boy, but then Courtney Brosnan took over and made the spot her own. So I do think that, like you said, we could do with maybe a few caps for the keepers that are back up to Courtney Brosnan. I think to get to know the back 4, because it's different for your club team where you've got
you're training every week with that.
You're training every week. You know the players. I think it's it would be a good idea for him to get some experience in the goals and see how to do. And look, Courtney Brosnan hasn't let Ireland down, and we're not saying that at all. But
no. She's number 1. She deserves to be.
She's number 1. She deserves to be. But like you said, we just need, in case there is anything does happen to her, in case there's an injury or she's lack of form, we need someone to step up and be as good as her. So the only way they can prove that is by getting a few games with Ireland and getting all the setup and because you can do all the training you want, Paul.
Yeah.
In international football, but you need game time, and that's where I would say outfield players as well. Players that are maybe on the fringes there in the subs, maybe just outside the extended squad, maybe bring them in as well, because I think this is good preparation now for the European qualifiers at this Nations League. We've topped the group, we've won the group, we're going to be in League A next time. We're going to be playing with the big teams like Spain, England, France, and all them players. So we need a good complete squad, if you say. And I also think that with this winning the Nations League, it's like the men's affairs now, Paul, that we're guaranteed ourselves the playoffs. So, for example, if the European qualifiers don't go to plan, or we hit a bad patch, or we're in a poor run of form, we have the backup of a playoff for the European qualifiers, the European Championships in 2025. So, realistically, Paul, we're 2 games away from the Euros now with winning the group.
Yeah.
So,
that's another question now. I know, sorry, no, for cutting across you, we just want a question there for you. In this Group B, there's also other group teams in this as well. So not alone do Ireland get promoted to Group B. So my question is there a kind of a competition now to find out who wins the Group B? Because there's other teams with different groups in this Group B as well. There's Ireland, the Group B1, there's a B2 and a B other group. So do they play the winners of in-tournament teams as well to that? Or do you know?
As far as now, Paul, with the Group Bs, you just get promoted. You don't you don't play each other. No, I'm up to correction.
Right. I didn't know that.
Yeah, but you get promoted to League A, and you guaranteed yourself a playoff within your Nations League group for the European Championships. So in the next, we're going to be seeded. I think we're possibly second, because probably a team from League A is going to be first seeds, and the team that wins their league Group B is going to be second seeds. For example, during the World Cup, I think we were third seeds. Finland and Sweden were ahead of us. So we're going to be definitely second seeds, if not first. I'm up in the correction that obviously, but I think we've really put ourselves into a very good position for the Euros. I'd be very disappointed now if we don't qualify for the Euros.
Well, no, yeah, I wouldn't be as confident that because we always quote here Johnny Giles. We can be thinking these things, but you have to do it on the pitch, and they're building this Nations League. The
totally,
European
Paul,
qualifiers will be a tougher one, but I can understand your commentary.
Yeah. I'm just saying we give ourselves the best possible chance. Say, for example, we did badly in the Nations League, and we were going in under pressure where we have to finish it within the top two of the qualifiers. Now we have, I wouldn't say the safety net, but we have a backup of a playoff, as far as I remember, from what I read the rules anyway. Is it, say for example we finish third, and we have to go through the playoff route. We at least we have that. That's why I always say about the men's football as well. If you do well in your Nations League, you set yourself up for a better chance, not necessarily guaranteed by no means, but you set yourself a better chance of qualification when you do well in the Nations League. If you're rewarded with good seeding and a good draw for the qualifiers. That's basically what I'm saying.
Now, Noel, just before we finish up, there is a negative. I'm going to say this. We still have no full-time manager. And I'm very disappointed because in the earlier podcast, I said that was in August or in September, that when it was obvious they were going to let the previous manager go, I was saying they had to have a permanent manager. There's no permanent manager. It's all gone quiet. Now, maybe there's stuff going on in the background. Maybe there is. You have to give them the benefit of the doubt. But as far as we know, Eileen Gleeson, she works for the FEI, is a development officer or whatever, one of those terms, a full-time employee. She appears that she doesn't want the job, but we don't know. Are they hoping she'd fall into it? But in my opinion, if you had a full-time permanent manager, they wouldn't. With these last two games, they're dead rubbers. Ireland have won the group. You could be looking. A permanent manager would be looking forward to the Euros, but with a temporary manager, are you just going from game to game? So to me, this is a negative. It's a very big negative because you have to have a permanent manager. Because with the best will in the world, and this Eileen Gleeson is doing a brilliant job. This is not a criticism of her. She's doing a brilliant job. But ultimately, a temporary manager is a temporary manager, and so that's in my opinion, that's the big negative.
Yeah, I get you what you're saying, Paul. I think if this would be the perfect time for a permanent manager to come in. 2 games, 2 dead rubbers. She can look at the squad. He or she can look at the squad, and guess I wouldn't say that by no means gimmies, but from the form of the group, we beat Hungary 4-0 away. I think we'd be confident beating them at home. Now, Windsor Park's going to be a different story, of course.
It's a competitive game, but it's an opportunity to expand your squad and
I see what the team is like. Get to know players. I think this would be a great opportunity for us, for the permanent manager to come in, where they can see what works, see what doesn't work, tactics and all that stuff. So before the qualifiers, because by the looks of it, Paul, the FAI aren't going to hire the permanent manager until after the Nations League. That means they're going to have to go straight into whether or not there'll be a few friendlies before the competitive matches in the European qualifiers, I'm not sure. But they'll have to go straight into the European qualifiers. Now, you would hope that, I wouldn't say we get an easy team the first game and then take it from there in the group, but it's not satisfactory, Paul. And to be fair, it doesn't seem to affect team morale, doesn't seem to affect team performances. They're playing very good football, they're playing very well. Now, they're playing probably teams that they should be beaten, we accept that. But the morale is good, they're playing very well. And it is going to be a bit of a change where the teams now, I wouldn't say that the players are totally, they're all behind Eileen Gleeson. No doubt about it. She's a good reporter of players. She gets on well with them by all accounts. But it's going to be a bit of a sea change where in the Nations League group we had Eileen Gleeson. Then all of a sudden that's changed and everything's gone, and then the new person comes in, might have different ideas, who might fancy some players, who might fancy other players. So it's going to be a bit of a change where we're going to have 3 managers in the space of a couple of months. Blair Powell in the World Cup, Eileen Gleeson in the Nations League, for example. And then by sometime next year, possibly January, February, we don't know exactly when they're going to appoint a new manager. You're going to have a new manager. So there's going to be 3 managers within the space of a couple of months. That's not satisfactory either, Paul, to be honest. So the FAI, there has been talk that they have a shortlist and they've whittled it down. Now, that's gone very quiet now. Whether there's been no names, obviously the FAI aren't going to name who they're interested in, because
is there a possibility that, sorry, Noel, just for a last question, is there a possibility that hoping that Eileen Gleeson are trying to persuade her to take the job?
There's been talk of that, Paul, but I think Eileen Gleeson has said herself that, now obviously managers and players have said stuff in the past and they've changed their minds. But No, I just have a funny feeling she will just take this Nations League group. I think she's happy in the work she was been doing with the FAI, and that look, I think she's enjoying it, but I think long term, I think she doesn't see herself from what I read, what she said, as a permanent manager for the Republic of Ireland. Am I